What is up, y'all? It's Shanae Nicole, his millennial housewife, and I'm back. I know it's been a while, and if you have noticed and you've missed me, I just want to say I'm sorry. And I actually have been trying to figure out like how to come back, like should I do a post, a video, like and being the overthinker that I can be sometimes, I have been thinking about that for like the past few weeks. But recently I actually did get something that I really wanted to share that God just kind of dropped in my heart, and I just didn't want to put it off. I didn't want to overthink it. So as you can see, like, I mean, it's no lights. I didn't put no eyebrows on. Like, I'm just chilling. Okay, and I'm okay with that because I really just want to get this out and get the ball rolling. You know how you be like trying to double dutch and you just like wait, and then you just gotta go. so this is just me like just stepping in there, and we just got to start. I did put on some earrings though, because I didn't want to go too far. But one of the things that God has dropped in my heart was about the story with David and the importance of preparation time. So when you think about David, and you think about David and Goliath, right? Him slaying the giant. You think about what he did and how he just was like, he bossed up and he did what he had to do. But one of the things that I was zoning in on when I was reading that story recently was his preparation time. When he slayed the lion and the bear, and he did that, so it's no way that God wouldn't be with him when he needed to slay this giant, right? And that really spoke to me because a lot of times when we look at people, we see their giant slaying moments. We see them doing everything right, but we don't see the lion and the bear moments. The sleep that they forgone. They had to wake up early, they put in hours after work, or like the discipline that it took to day in and day out doing the right things to get to the point you're actually wanting to follow them. You know what I mean? Like we don't often see that story, and when we do, it's just a glimpse or something that we read in a book. Even in the word, I read that, and it was like 4 sentences when he referenced the time of when he slayed the lion and the bear, and when they came for his sheep, and how he trusted God and he was able to kill them. Like he practiced the harp, he perfected his craft, right, to the point where when he was ready to be brought in front of Saul, like to the point where somebody else recognized what he was doing and was able to pull him in. He didn't even have to speak for himself. It was somebody else that was like, I know David, he plays the harp, and he's legit, and so that brought him in front of Saul in the first place. And I think we just can't overlook that, right? We have to really be willing of whatever that looks like for your season, or what God has for you. Because David, he got anointed as king at a young age, right? He knew who he was, but yet he still had to go back to his regular job. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't just step into that calling automatically. And a lot of times we can have a vision from God, an idea, or a passion, or something that he has put in your heart, but it's like we want to go from here to here immediately, right? But there's all this space in between. So that really stood out to me because with me, I know that I took some time off, and it started out as just a break. It started out as just kind of evaluating how I wanted to put forth my content, and then it just turned into me just stopping completely. And I stopped in a lot of my preparation, right? Because doing this gives me accountability. I want to encourage you guys, and for you guys to do what it is that you need to do, but it also gives me accountability. But not only that, when I stopped, I felt like, well, how can I share when I'm not where I want to be, right? It got to the point where I'm like, well, if you can't do what you do without a camera being on, then you're not being real. You know what I'm saying? And I think that has definitely some truth to it, but I think I just ended up using that as an excuse to just keep prolonging it and not get back on, what I wanted to do. So I've been really like challenging myself and trying to be consistent, to really hone in on that preparation time, right? Be a doer of the word, because a lot of times we think that we're doers of the word just because we know the word, just because we can speak it out. That doesn't make us a doer. And the Bible talks about how we can be deceived. You know what I'm saying? When we do that, when we just are hearers of the word and we think we know, but we're not actually putting it into practice, we deceive ourselves thinking that we're higher than we are. And in some ways, I know that that's exactly what I was doing. Like, okay, Shanae, you know the word. You know what I'm saying? You know what you're supposed to do. So what do you do in this situation? What do you do when these thoughts come? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is your preparation time. And this is your opportunity to put this into work. But what I was doing, it was just letting those things just kind of overcome me. So just recently when I was seeing that about David, I'm like, man, that's so good. That preparation time. A lot of times what we can do is just despise the place that we're in, that prep time. Like, don't just sweep that under the rug, because the preparation time is what's gonna get us to where we need to be, right? So embrace each and every day. Look at each day as a day to get better. And that was something that my husband told me that really encouraged me. Like, you don't have to be perfect. Just be better today than you were yesterday. One of the good things I think about social media and all the different platforms that we have is that we can document things, so we can actually see our growth, right? And one day our story is gonna be like, oh, we just reference those years. You reference years of you just putting in work, grinding, put those tears that maybe you've cried, those long nights that you felt like you were alone, those times where it's like, Lord, when is it gonna change? You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be a time where we just reference those years as just a few sentences. And it'll just be a distant memory, because you'll be living the life. And one of the things I know for me that I would love to see is like to look back and not recognize myself, to be like, man, that girl, she used to be this and this, but man, look at how she's grown. I really want to be able to do that. And in some ways I can do that, but there's so much more that needs to be done. And instead of like getting down on myself and thinking like, girl, you need to get it together. Instead of that, it's like, come on, you can do this, right? Lord, help me to see myself the way that you do. Help me to give myself grace the way that I would give somebody else grace. So if you've been dealing with the same thing, like, you're not alone. We all have similar challenges. Yes, they're different, but a lot of times we'd be surprised when you find out like people have been dealing with similar issues or similar feelings, and dealing with things that you can actually relate to. So you don't have to be ashamed, but there is hope, you know what I'm saying? And so I just want to encourage you in that, but I also want to challenge you, like, if you know that you've been like that, then to step up, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't allow yourself to just quit and be like, well, it is what it is, you know what I mean? Hold on to what God has shown you. Hold on to what he's told you to do, and keep making steps and making progress towards that. We don't have to be perfect. We just have to be obedient. We just have to do what it is that we already know to do. I hope that you guys are willing to just rock with me on this journey. Like, I just want to be more transparent this time around. I want to obviously be more consistent, but ultimately I want to embrace what it is that he's given me, and just trust him even in my weaknesses, and I want you guys to know that you can do the same. So if you're with me, we can do this together. We're still on the journey to becoming the best version of ourselves, because the best life is the best version of ourselves. See, it's been so long, I done forgot my little tag. Best life is the one that's led by Christ. I know that, but anyway, I'll have it the next time. Are y'all praying for me? Y'all need to be praying for me if you haven't. If you have, thank you. Hallelujah. But anyway, I will talk to you guys very soon. And I'm for real. I'm going to talk to y'all soon.